So there's a new bandwagon type in our midst, and it's attached to outrage.
Yeah,
like there's a new team. The new team is whoever is the victim. Obviously, only certain people in this country qualify for victim status. We've talked about this before, and so now, when that narrative is pushed of the new victim, there's this new bandwagon feeling to jump on board and get just as angry as the victim. And it gets cringy. And we've seen it all over the place. I know the popular phrase now is what's it called? Like the popular phrase when people are seen just doing good stuff, or trying to be righteous. What's the? It's very
social justice.
No. What's
warrior?
No. What is it called? When it's very common, people are talking about it like, oh, this person is just doing this thing, trying to show that they're right. Virtue signaling. There we go.
Oh, what?
Yeah, you helped with none of that.
Well,
yeah.
Clues.
And so I think that's one phrase that people refer to it as virtue signaling. But I just see it as this bandwagon rioter, where you have to manufacture this anger. And what's interesting? We'll dive into this. But you actually see pushback from some people who don't even agree with us. You have Black Americans who don't agree with us, and they probably would hate everything that we have to say, but they would still push back against the bandwagon rioter.
Yeah.
Because they would say like, hey, no, don't try to join in our victimhood.
Yeah. You're stealing from our victimhood.
You're stealing from the glory of our victimhood, and so don't do that. And so like just recently, what are some ways you've seen bandwagon rioters wave their banners?
Like specifically, or just the fact that I've seen more
Either.
white people than Black people?
Oh man, you can talk about that. Well, yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, and it could just be where we live. But
I don't think so.
I mean, I'm just gonna speak objectively. There's a mosquito about to get you in your neck.
Really?
Suck. Yeah. But yeah, there's just a lot of white people rioting on behalf of Black people without even spoken to Black people, really. Like some of the places that I ride around in to get mulch, I go to Greenbelt, I'm like, man, ain't not a Black person in here. Have y'all ever really taken the time to speak to a Black person and say, hey, is this helpful?
Yeah.
Is this helpful?
Yeah.
This sign I put in my yard, does it do a thing? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. And it's just divisive. It divides. It divides white people and Black people.
Yeah, it does.
It divides white people and white people. It divides Black people and Black people. It's just a big divisive mechanism for people to elevate themselves, give themselves some self-righteousness when they go, I'm on the good side of history.
Yeah, I need to look this up.
Standing up for justice and truth.
As I'm about to say this, let me fact check myself. But when you said that, is it just because of where we live? If you think about the grand narrative, even though this is not an episode we've dedicated to critical race theory, obviously critical race theory falls in the umbrella of this episode because it's under the guise of critical race theory or social justice that they so coined it, that you find a lot of bandwagon rioters, right? And so the big voice in the critical social justice movement is, I think, predominantly white.
Yeah.
When I think about the what is one famous one, white fragility, Robin DiAngelo. Yeah, this is not a Black American.
Yeah,
this is not a Black American. Now, there was something you said,
and also, I mean, it seems like a winning team, so it's easy to jump on this.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The descent is
it's not the winning team. Nobody was talking about this 5-6 years ago. Right before Donald Trump got in office, this wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It showed up with Barack Obama, the Black Lives Matter stuff with Trayvon Martin, but it wasn't like this.
Yeah, right.
Until the TV told people
the bandwagon rioters.
Yeah.
I mean, you literally saw bandwagon rioters last year.
Yeah.
People just in the street is like, hey, what's going down? People throwing stuff and breaking stuff. You saw multiple videos of people. There were people who made videos recording others vandalizing property and saying like, yo, these people aren't even with us. Who are these people?
Yeah.
But here they are just joining in on the terror. But that's the direction we wanted to go with this, because we don't think that we don't think that bandwagon rioting is just dumb. We don't simply disagree with it. We believe it's poisonous, as you already mentioned, the division that it causes. But then you end up promulgating a narrative or an ideology that is false. That's false, and it's not helpful. And more than it being not helpful, it's harmful. And that goes back to what you asked when you're like, hey, you see these people and you wear the shirts and you hold up the banners and everything. It's like, have you talked to anyone? Now, obviously, that's not to say you won't find somebody who agrees with whatever you're holding on, but for you to conclude that this should be the stance for all black, like, there's a white person out here in this country that's going to disagree with me about what a black person should think.
Right.
How did that happen?
Yeah.
Because one, critical social justice only does things through groups. The critical race theory, or called cultural Marxism, only does things through groups. And in two, it's already been concluded what our group should think and how we should feel. And so there you have it. And so then you have celebrities.
Yeah.
And they're bandwagon rioting.
And if you are a person, a member of Hollywood who does not agree, you get the same treatment.
Yeah, you get ostracized.
White or black, doesn't matter.
You get ostracized. Who's your favorite celebrity bandwagon rioter?
Do politicians count?
They're celebrities now, yeah. I mean,
but favorite celebrity bandwagon rioter would probably be Trevor Noah.
He's changed.
Yeah.
Man, he has changed. They got to him.
Yeah, and that's why, and it's such a short time. That's why it was so easy to see.
Oh, am I going to be able to find that clip? Where were you talking? You were telling me about it the other day.
Episode of Hot Ones.
Oh, Hot Ones. I don't know. You tell him why he's your favorite. Let me see if I can find it.
So Trevor Noah, when he came to this country, and this is around, I don't know, when Barack Obama was president, right? I mean, he hasn't been here long. Less than I would say less than 15 years.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I'm just being generous, but I'm thinking more like less than 10 years. But when he got here, he always, in his stand, he's a comedian. He had all these very objective but different perspectives coming from South Africa to the United States. From the way we label, basically, he was like, this country is just ripe for division. The way we label one another, basically calling, the way we label people in America, all in one country. He said in South Africa, if you're South African, you're South African, or whatever specific country that you're from, right? Like it's, you're from Zimbabwe. You know what I mean? That's it. You're from Cape Town. You don't call them a Cape Towner or something. You're still South African.
Right.
So in America, you got white Americans, black Americans, African Americans, all these terms, Native Americans, Asian Americans. It's like, if I'm an American, why not just call people Americans? You put people in boxes. But he was on Hot Ones. Did you find that episode?
No.
He was on Hot Ones and he was talking about the question the guy asked him. He said, the host asked him, why you've mentioned before that you'd prefer the racism in South Africa to the racism in America. And Trevor Noah, in so many words, he said that essentially when someone is racist in South Africa, they're racist. There's no guessing. They don't like you because of the way you look, and they feel like they're superior to you. You may, if the person's not violent, you have an opportunity to have a discussion. If they are violent, you move on, and this person doesn't like you, you stay away from them. They call you names. They treat you like you're less than them. There is no guessing. Can't mistake a racist. So here in America, I've done stand-up comedy before, and someone had to call me before, after the show and say, "Hey, Trevor, that thing you said was racist." And I had to reflect on my heart, like, did I actually say something racist? And he said, that's so weird to me. How can you slip and be racist?
Right.
How can you make a mistake and hate somebody?
Yeah. It became an adjective.
Yeah. Basically, you offended me, so you hate me and feel you're better than me.
Yeah.
And he said this is not how racism should work. But that was Trevor Noah early on. Not that long ago. I think that episode was 2017.
Man.
Now he's all in, but still talking about the vaccine.
Yeah,
and masks.
Well, no, this says 1 year ago. Well, maybe they uploaded it 1 year ago.
Yeah,
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know he's different. I don't really listen to him, not because I'm like, Trevor Noah leftist, whatever. A lot of people I don't listen to.
Mm-hmm.
I think I listened to Trevor Noah stand up one time, and that was in person in Baltimore before he was Trevor Noah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, but yeah, my favorite bandwagon rider is LeBron James.
I know people get tired of hearing me say it, but we are scared as black people in America. Black men, black women, black kids, we are terrified. Because you don't know. You have no idea. You have no idea how that cop that day left the house. You don't know if he woke up on the good side of the bed. You don't know if he woke up on the wrong side of the bed. You don't know if he had an argument at home with a significant other. You know, if one of his kids said something crazy to him and he left the house steaming. Or maybe he just left the house saying that today is going to be the end for one of these black people.
Oh, man.
Now, you're probably asking, wait a second, Brandon. LeBron James, he's black. How can he be a bandwagon rioter? Because he's not black. No, that's not true. That's not the route I'm going, guys. That's not the route I'm going. This is the route I'm going, and this goes into the poison. There are a lot of things that LeBron James did that I actually applaud him for.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of decisions he made that I applaud him for. There's a group of people surrounding him to keep his mind and heart leveled, and I applaud him for that. There's sacrifice he made to be at the position he's in, and I applaud him for that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a struggle he doesn't know about that he is currently holding banners up for.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the most recent scenarios of police incidents, police brutality, police acts of excellence, in the case of Ma'Khia Bryant, right? I think that officer acted excellently.
Has he had a story disappear, by the way?
Yeah, well, definitely. And so when it comes to those narratives, he's removed from those.
Yeah.
He doesn't share in the victimhood of the people propped up in that narrative. Why? Because instead of LeBron James running away from the police, he hires them.
Right. Yeah.
He hires
Who
them.
said that? Jason Whitlock was like, LeBron James don't open his car doors?
Yeah. He walks with the police escort him.
Yeah.
And look, here's the thing.
That's a blessing.
We're not here saying, hey, look, LeBron
Right.
James, shut up, you're rich. Da, da, da. No, we're saying that when you get on the camera and in the mic and you say that black people are being slaughtered out here and we're afraid to walk outside, you're just
lying.
repping a team you don't belong to,
You're
dog.
lying. It's not, that's nothing wrong with being privileged.
Yeah, right. No, that's
nothing
real.
wrong with
Yeah,
being
they've made it a
privileged.
cuss word now.
Yeah.
And so that has also propagated the need to be a bandwagon rioter. Because you have so many rich and privileged people who are angriest.